How you doing? My name is Travis Pruitt, former arranger for Jackson State, responsible for tunes such as Partition, Ham, and Nice and Slow. Current head band director at the award-winning, nationally televised, internationally streamed, world-renowned Mississippi Alumni All-Star Band, who right now has the only marching band streaming CD out, actually four, taking on any major streaming service. Right now, I'm also the current assistant band director at Whitehaven High School. How do we do all this stuff? We work hard. We work hard every day. It can't be just a thing that we do. It's something that we do for life. It's a way of life. The grind is a way of life. You got to get tired first, and then you start working hard, and then the grind starts. Okay, you got to go every day. In y'all case, you got to run them laps. You got to run them a way of life. You got to know you're gonna run them every day for the rest of your life. Hey, you got to get up and work them stands. You got to have them late hard practices. Okay, you got to deal with your coaches like Miss Jen. You got to do that. Okay, those are the type of things that lead you in the correct position, in the correct direction. Okay, this marching band is a paramilitary organization. Okay, this is real out here. Everybody is fighting for the top spot. How do you get into the game? You work hard every day. Because when you're not working, somebody else is. So let me see your work. Let me see you get ready to go into it. Get it done. Get it done. Again, I'm the band director of the only HBCU style marching band streamed worldwide. The only one on the planet streamed worldwide. How did I get there? I took advantage of an opportunity. Opportunities are golden, and when they come knocking, we must take advantage of them, and we must be able to recognize them. Okay, you all have an opportunity that I would pay for. Okay, you went viral already. That has already put you on a tier to where anything you do, it has the potential to go viral. You have to learn how to turn positives to negatives and take advantage of our opportunities. You all, young ladies, have the opportunity to shock the world, and you must take that. You must heed that, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You can look at it one or two ways: as something bad that happened, or the best thing that happened in your life. You gotta seize this opportunity, okay? Work hard, train hard, so when you come out of that dungeon, you are the same girls, viral and internet famous, okay? But in all of your glory. You gotta work hard, you gotta focus in, you gotta become a way of life. You got to do that complete 360 turn, and when you go, you got to come in with an impact. You got to hit hard, and you got to leave it on fire. All right, take advantage of your opportunities. You went viral once, that means you can most definitely do it again. But this time, you control the narrative.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jasmine Williford. I attended Morgan State University and danced on the Foxy Dance Line in 2008 to 2009. So I was first introduced to HBCU majorette style of dance my senior year of high school. I was actually a part of a hip hop dance group, and my mentor and choreographer, he actually incorporated that style of dance into a lot of the pieces that we did. He choreographed this one piece that was majorette inspired to Missy Elliott's Bad Man. And if you know the song, you know that there is a huge HBCU marching band influence on the song. So when I actually transferred to Morgan in 2008 from my arts conservatory that I went to the previous year, I knew that for me to get the full-on HBCU experience, especially as a dancer, I had to join the dance line. So I auditioned and I made the team. So was I nervous? Yes, I was actually very nervous throughout the entire process, from auditioning to actually being on the dance line. This was a style of dance that I had very little exposure to and very little experience with. And during the audition process, I was going up against girls who had been dancing this style of dance since middle school and high school. And even though I knew I could dance, I wasn't sure that I could actually dance this style of dance. So I tried my best, I gave it my all, and eventually I made the dance line. But even when I made the dance line, I was a little bit nervous about it because there is a high expectation for being a majorette dancer. You have to be able to dance the style that is established by the dance line. You have to be able to learn the movements and the choreography within a certain time frame. So even though I was on the dance line and I was confident that I was a good dancer, moving through the process itself was a little bit nervous because I had expectations that I needed to meet, that I had not pushed myself yet to do. The dance line definitely came with some requirements. Some of those requirements were making sure that you maintained a good GPA so you can participate in all of the activities that came with being on the marching band. Some of the requirements were practicing and working out all the time, and not just during the band season, on the off season as well. Sometimes we practiced during the band season 3 to 4 times a week. We had Friday night practices for Saturday games. There might have been a Saturday morning practice for a Saturday night game, and you would just be doing band stuff all week, every day. You know that saying, band is life? Well, believe it when it's being said. But also on the off season, it's your obligation as a dancer to make sure that you are fine tuning your body. It's your tool, it's your instrument. And if you don't use it, you lose it. So taking the opportunity to train outside of the band season, I consider a requirement. So what a lot of Foxy dancers did was they joined the Modern Dance Ensemble during the springtime, which is considered our off season, and we also trained outside with other dancers. Some other requirements were hair and makeup, making sure that we met the uniformity of the dance line. So making sure the hair looked the same, making sure the makeup looked the same. I was mostly used to wearing my hair pulled back and in buns, but the dance line required more versatility with the hairstyles. So I got a half wig. I had to learn how to do my hair. I had to learn how to do my makeup a certain kind of way. Some restrictions with being on the dance line and being in the marching band were not being able to go to parties as much as everybody else, not being able to join on campus organizations like SGA and pageants, not being able to attend homecoming events or what we call Morgan Day events because you're part of the marching band, not being able to socialize as much because of practice or parade or performance. And a lot of times it was only temporary because it was just during the band season that those restrictions occurred. Once the band season was over, you had the opportunity to prioritize your time a little differently. Some other restrictions were just making sure that you understood that you were representing an organization with yourself. So, no lewd behavior, no fighting, no confrontational interactions with people. Once you're wearing an organization's name or representing an organization, the things that you do don't just reflect on you or reflects on the entire, reflects on everybody else. So those are just some restrictions that I experienced when I was on the dance line. My hardest obstacle to overcome was not being able to travel as much as I would like, especially to go see my family on the weekends. That was not possible as often as I would like because we had parades and performances on the weekends, and band camp started before school started. So it actually cut my summer really short since I had transferred from another school and I had to get myself set up here. So when I was on the marching band, I rarely went home, um, due to some other family stuff. My family was not actually able to come down here, so they never got to see me perform. And that was one of the hardest things that I had to deal with as far as being on the marching band, but I understood that I made a commitment to the team and to the organization. So I kept in contact and I just made sure that I was out there representing and making them proud. Proudest moment being on the dance line was learning our second field show and actually performing it. So the first field show that I learned and performed was one that the dance line had performed the previous season, and they already knew it. So I had to get on board and learn it while also still learning this style of dance. The second field show, however, was an original piece that we all created. And at that time, I had gained my confidence. I was equally yoked with the dance line. I knew what my limitations were and how to push beyond them and how to give my all to what was asked of me. A weird expectation that was asked of me was to dance outside of my box. I was used to being very prissy and very ballerina like and very structured. And for this style of dance, I had to let loose. I had to act like I was dancing at home in my mirror. Literally act like I was dancing like no one was watching in order for me to get into my comfort zone and to reach that level of confidence that needed to be exuded while I was on the field or in the stands or in the parade. So it was something that was a little bit weird and uncomfortable at first, but I was able to meet and exceed expectations. So my advice to young ladies who are interested in joining a collegiate dance line or dance team is to be open-minded and to prepare for the experience. In preparing for the experience, make sure you're doing your research on the dance lines and the marching bands that you want to join. Possibly talking to some of the current members and alumni who have actually graduated and were on the marching band, getting some of their feedback on the great things that band has to offer, and learning some of their styles so that you can train yourself and mold yourself for that experience. Also being open-minded to it. It might be something that you've never done before, but might just be the thing that you fall in love with and opens a door of opportunity for you. So just train yourself, prepare yourself, get ready to do hard work and make memories, and remember to remain open-minded about that experience. Don't let yourself get in your own way, and good luck.
Hello, my name is Jamae Griffith. I danced with the Orchesis Dance Company at the Grambling State University from 2013 to 2016. Although I loved every bit of my time at Grambling, my most exciting year, most memorable year was fall 15, spring 16, because I had the incredible opportunity to serve as the Orchesis Dance Company captain. So what made me decide to audition for the Orchesis Dance Company? So my story is not your typical high school senior dancer who's danced a lot, most of their life and knew that they wanted to go to this school for these reasons or whatever. For me, I started dancing really late. So I had moved to Texas when I was 12, and when I was in junior high, and then when I got to high school, I felt like I needed to make friends, and so I saw there's a dance team, and I thought that was the perfect way to make friends. So I auditioned for this drill team, and drill team is like, the kick line, known for their kick lines. And I made it. And so the only problem was that I fell in love with dance. And I didn't know anybody who was a dancer professionally, and I didn't know anyone who could give me guidance on how to get there, right? So here I am, 17 years old, and I decided to take my first ballet class because I saw this black girl on TV, and she was a ballerina. She was studying ballet, and so I felt like, oh, okay, so if I want to be a professional dancer, then I have to study ballet too. So naive me, I went into a ballet class at 17 years old, and never having taken a ballet class, that's like unheard of, right? And so then I continued to dance, and even though it was hard, I knew that it was something that I wanted to do. And so without having any guidance, I decided that, okay, well, I need to go to school for this instead of going straight into the professional dance world. And so I decided to go to Kilgore College and audition for their drill team. And I did not make it. And now thinking back on it, it was the best, because that was the best thing for me, because it was not for me. So after that, I decided to transfer to the University of North Texas. At the University of North Texas, I danced on their dance team, the North Texas Dancers, which is more like professional football or basketball dance team. I did that, and then I was also a dance major, and so I was learning all different styles of dance, but still it wasn't for me. I felt like there was something missing. And so the summer of my sophomore year of college, I decided to go to this summer intensive in Shreveport, Louisiana, and I took a class with Diane Maroney Grisby, and Diane Maroney Grisby is the director of the Orchesis Dance Company. I didn't know what she was teaching. I had never done the Lester Horton technique before, which is a modern technique. And I remember after that first class, I got in the car and I was like, I told my mom, I said, I don't know what that was, but that's what I want to do. So I transferred to Grambling State University. And I think what really drew me to Diane Maroney Grisby and the Orchesis Dance Company, Grambling State University, was her passion when she was teaching. Okay, so I got to Grambling, and it's important to know that Grambling is a little different than other HBCU dance teams. We're a company, and so that means that we have different seasons. So we do dance on the field, we dance on the basketball court, but we also dance on the stage. And we perform different works, ballet, modern, contemporary, jazz, those types of things, which is what I loved. And so for Grambling, there's not a set group of dancers that dance every week at the games. Each week, let's say on a Monday, we'll audition for that Saturday's game. And so once I made the field and I danced at that first game, I was hooked. It was my first time like actually dancing majorette style or HBCU dance line style, and I fell in love with it. So for Grambling, we did not have a specific workout regimen or a group workout that we had to attend. That was completely up to you. It was your responsibility. So you know that you have this costume and you got to fit into it. And so it was your responsibility to make sure that you fit into it. Whatever that meant for you, you knew what you had to do. That's what you did. And I think that's one thing that we really, as dancers, as collegiate dancers, as dancers who aspire to be professional dancers, it's really important to understand that the work that you do on your own outside of those company rehearsals, team workouts, team classes, team practices, the work that you do on your own on the things that you know that you need to work on is what's really going to help you progress in this industry. So as an Orchesis I was aware that I was an ambassador for the Orchesis Dance Company. I was an ambassador for Grambling State University, and I was an ambassador for myself, which to me was the most important. And so I knew that there were certain things that I could not engage in on campus because I was representing myself, I was representing the university, I was representing the company. And then also, as ambassadors for the university, for your team, and for yourself, you're also doing recruitment. You're walking recruiting tool. So, yeah, be smart. The advice that I would give to collegiate dancers and even dancers who aspire to be collegiate dancers is to do your research. Know who you're auditioning for. It's so great that we are in the social media era where information is so accessible. You can go on YouTube, look up the team that you want to audition for, learn their stands, go to their website, follow them on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all those different types of things. The more research that you can do on that team, the better. And then also keep your options open. Don't just I guess put your focus on one school. Do your research, know about different schools, and then once you decide that, okay, this is for me, because I already looked at all the other schools, this is the school that I want to go to, then you can put your focus in that school. Also, another piece of advice that I would give aspiring collegiate dancers is to don't give up. Like, don't be discouraged because you may not have a lot of training. If you really want something, you have to do the work. But when you do that work, you will do it. You will be successful. Coming from me, somebody who started dancing so late, I'm glad that I did not give up, because I would not have been able to accomplish the things that I did accomplish. Being captain of the Orchesis Dance Company, going to study at the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater School, dancing on different companies in New York, dancing in Cuba, being able to go back to school on a free ride for dance at the University of Oklahoma, and teaching dance at the university level, and continuing to be a professional dancer and dance. I would not have been able to do those types of things if I would have given up, even though I did not have the training that I needed. But I kept working, and I eventually made it. And it's a struggle. It's every day. It's getting up and deciding that you're going to do it. So one last thing, and I forgot to say this, but this is probably the most important thing. A piece of advice that I would give to collegiate dancers, specifically HBCU collegiate dancers, to really cherish your HBCU dance line style, or majorette style, whatever you want to call it. But really cherish it, because it is very important to the HBCU dance culture, the HBCU culture as a whole, and just Black culture in general. And also don't allow anybody to tell you that it is less important than any other style of dance. That's it.
Jennifer, it's Miss B from Connecting the Lines, and I am so excited to be a part of this. Thank you so much for requesting this video. First off, my name is Miss B, and I am a proud graduate of the Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, aka FAMU, where I was a member of Mahogany Dance Theater. I danced with Mahogany for 3 years while I was in college, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. It really taught me so many things that I did not know that I was going to be doing today. I started doing them while I was in college. I auditioned for the dance team because I was I was always dancing. I was dancing in high school. I was the captain of my dance team. I was always the leader, the person that was out front, the one that was always, kind of pushed out front to, to be that soloist or whatever you would have. And I already knew when I went to college I was going to dance. So I actually grew up thinking that I was going to be a singer at Alabama State, but right at the last minute I decided to go to FAMU instead. So once I got to FAM and I saw Mahogany, I was like, wow, these girls do jazz, they do ballet, they do modern, they do hip hop, we do lyrical, we do liturgical, we do all of these different types of dance, and they cute. And this girl, my freshman week, was like, if you're gonna do anything on campus, you either be on Mahogany because I'm the best dancers, or you be an Epicurean because those are the best models. So I joined Mahogany and Epicurean because of that. While I was when I first got there, it was my freshman year. It was maybe like 3 weeks into the school year. Now, I always knew I could dance. That wasn't a question. But once I got to the audition, I realized that everybody in the audition was just like me. They were the captains. They were the presidents. They were the same girls that I was at my school. They were at their school. So here I am amongst all of these people. And I'm like, I'm going to work them. But when I get there, I'm like, oh, wait. Step your game up. And that's what I really had to do. And so I went from my freshman year being only in 2 dances. I got cut out of everything except for 2 dances, to, like I say, becoming the vice president of the dance organization. Some of the requirements that were given to us were we had to maintain our grades. That was first. We had to always look presentable. We had to always, it wouldn't always be like full makeup and full hair, but that's kind of like a HBCU thing anyway. At least it was at FAM, but still is at FAM. Everybody get fly going to campus for whatever reason. We do it. And so that was just kind of protocol for what we did, but we always maintained that standard of what we looked like. We did have to work out, but we weren't on a super strict regimen, because we worked it in rehearsal. Like the first hour of rehearsal was just straight conditioning, running, sit-ups, squats, all of the things that's gonna make us super fine and super snatched. Okay, so you want to work out because you want to know how to breathe and all these things. You don't want to get winded in the middle of a routine because then you're not gonna be on your leg, and that's whack. We were told that we could do pretty much anything, but just to kind of your own discretion. And so if you wanted to be on an organization or you wanted to stay on an organization, you knew that there were certain things that you couldn't do, and not just couldn't do it, but you didn't want to do it. So it was like, we could definitely go to parties. We would definitely, be out, like for real. But most of the times we would be at rehearsals on Friday nights. We would be getting ready for whatever it was. So we would be so tired by the time we finished. Ain't nobody trying to go to the club. You gotta take a shower and do your hair and all this kind of stuff. And then most of the time when we did go out, I was going out with my dance sisters anyway. So we always made sure that each other was on point with it. Now, if we got white girl wasted, that was in our privacy. That wasn't out around other people, all right? Some of the main obstacles that I had to deal with being an HBCU dancer was maintaining my grades as well as a job. I was a part of other organizations on campus. I was a part of my journalism school. I was a part of my journalism organizations, and I had an internship. I was on the arena football dance team for the city of Tallahassee. So, and I was one of the only black girls. It was me and one other black girl that went to Florida State. So I was the only one with the real sauce. So they always loved me. But that was, pretty rough to be trying to maintain all of that. And I had like a boyfriend, and it would become a bit much sometimes, but it was just always dance that really kept me grounded, because I knew at the end of the day, like, that was my relief from everything else. So dance was always what I needed to do. One of my proudest moments, like I said, was being a part of the arena football team. We danced for the football season for the city of Tallahassee, the Tallahassee Lions. We also, for Mahogany, we danced at BET Spring Bling. We were invited to several performances and shows and schools, and I really got to travel. That was the first time I went to Miami. Like, it was a lot of places that I got to go because of that, because of dancing. And so dancing can really take you places. And so just like people would come home with me because I was from Atlanta, I would go to Miami or DC or Chicago or New Orleans or wherever my other dance sisters were from, just because, that's what we do. But I was very proud of that. And I was also very proud when I became the vice president with one of my good friends that I grew up dancing with, Tiffany. We danced together when we were about 7 or 8 years old, and then we ended up at college together, and then we ended up on the same dance team together. And so when she was like, okay, I'm gonna be president, I was like, well, I'll be your vice president. And we had them girls on Pizzoint. Yes. Some weird expectations that our director had for us was to always be on point. And at first I thought it was weird, but then he explained to us that you never know who you're going to see or who you're going to meet. So you always want to be on point. So we were not allowed to get off the bus with our face messed up. We couldn't get off the bus with a bonnet on. He used to say, you better get your ass out that bus with the bonnet on your head. And so we would have to take the bonnets off, put some earrings on, put a little lip on, not a whole face, but even if we was just going to the gas station, you could not get off the bus with your hair tied up at all. And a side story of that was, fast forward 5 years later, I have my own dancers. We go to New York for BET's 106 and Park, and I tell the girls the same thing: do not come out of the hotel without being presentable, because you never know who you're going to meet. Like, we're in New York City, we're in Times Square, like, come on, like, for real. So I told them we had rehearsal one morning. They decided to come down with their pajamas on. No, ma'am, we're not going to do that. So what I did with them was, I was like, okay, come on, let's go. It was like, where we going? I was like, outside. Yes, outside Times Square. Y'all know where the ball drops for New Year's? I made them practice in the middle of Times Square in pajamas, like, for real. And it was a life lesson for them, because as they out there dancing in their pajamas, the 6 o'clock news shows up because there are these dancers in the middle of Times Square. We got another guy on YouTube. I don't even know how he was out there filming for something else, and he started turning to us and found out we had a whole story behind the reason why we were in New York City. So we didn't know we were going to end up on like 3 news outlets. Oh, and they came out looking crazy. Now, I was looking cute. So when they asked me for the interview, I'm like, let's go. But some of them girls who came out there with them pajamas, they trying to stand to the side, trying to do like this. And so always be on point. Thought it was weird, but definitely could save your life and give you really good opportunities. Some advice that I would give to young ladies who are interested in dancing on a collegiate dance team is go for it. You never know where it could take you. The things that we did in college are things that I do in my real life, from, helping to select costumes and uniforms, to getting flyers made, and to making executive decisions when we are trying to come up with what we're going to do for the next show or the next performance. Like, a lot of things that I didn't think that was going to affect me now, I learned when I was in college. So do it, go for it, be out and it'll allow you to see the world. It'll allow you to meet people that you probably never would have met. And some of those people that I was shoulder to shoulder with in Mahogany are very successful dancers. I have my own dance competition, and so I always invite my Mahogany sisters on to be judges, to be hosts, and they are like on point for real. They dancing with Beyonce, and I was watching the VMAs the other day, and I'm like, look at such and such on. I ain't gonna say no names, but look at such and such, on the VMAs. Like it's crazy. So do it. Don't be scared, because it'll all work out. All right. I look forward to meeting you guys. I would love to come and work with you. So please, Jennifer, let me know, and I will come and I'll do a workshop, or we can do it virtually, or whatever you want to do. Y'all make sure y'all follow me at Miss B Worldwide, and thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Tori. I graduated from Kentucky State University. I danced on the K-Red dance team from the years 2002 through 2006. What made me audition for the dance team is because in high school, I went to an all-black high school, and our high school was heavily influenced by HBCUs. A lot of our alumni graduated with different HBCUs, specifically Central State University, such as our band director, his wife, their children. So we had a whole lot of alumni come back and help out. So we were heavily influenced, and I danced in high school. So by the time that come graduation, I knew whatever college I went to, I wanted to be on a collegiate team. I went to a college fair, or HBCU college fair, and I applied to all of the ones that had dance team: Howard, Hampton, Jackson State, and Kentucky State. Kentucky State ended up being the one that gave me the scholarships. So it was a win-win situation. I knew they had a dance team, and my tuition was paid for. Upon trying out, I wasn't nervous to try out as far as with the dancing and making it. The only thing that just made me a little nervous is that I was the only freshman. And my nervousness kicked in just like the first day of band camp. But by the time auditions came, I kind of started to know a lot of people. That nervousness had passed, and I was ready to bring it. Once I made the team, the only requirements were, after making the team, we had to sign an ethics, or it's called a contract. And it's just, apart from our decorum while we're away, everything that we do represented the team. It's just holding ourselves up to ladies and our high standards, and making sure that our actions don't reflect bad on the team. As far as other requirements while on the team, we had a performance. On Wednesdays, we had a thing called cuts. During cuts, you had to perform the dance routine that was being done that Saturday or whatever day that performance is. You had to make sure you were able to execute the entire dance move, and you had to make sure that your energy matched everyone on the team. There wasn't any other restrictions because a lot of our time was held up with practices. We had practice every day. On Tuesday, we had practice twice, once during the middle of the day, once we had everyone's schedule, and also Thursdays, we had practice 2 times. So our entire time was consumed with dancing, so we didn't have pretty much time for all of the other shenanigans. I think the hardest obstacle I had to overcome while being a college dancer was health. During that time, I was going through some health issues that didn't have my energy up to par where it should have been. So that made me, during my freshman year, I had to miss cuts, or I didn't make cuts one time. And side note, if you don't make cuts, you're still on the team. However, during the performance, you have to stand right beside our advisor while everyone else danced. So that happened to me once. But once I got my health in order, I was able to make cuts for the rest of the time because my energy matched everyone else on the squad, which was pretty good because, again, I was the only freshman. Everyone else on the squad was, veterans as well. The proudest moment, I would have to say, was when I became co-captain and captain. So those are my two proudest moments. Our captains and my directors, they really didn't have any weird expectations. Pretty much the captain ran the show. Whatever the captain said, it went. Our captains and my directors, they really didn't have any weird expectations. Pretty much the captain ran the show. Whatever the captain said, it went. And the director backed her up. It doesn't matter if the captain said, hey, we're going to do this, that with a backflip. All right, we better do this, that with a backflip. But it just established a hierarchy of how everything went and made everything go orderly. And everybody knew their place. So it made everything run extremely smoothly. And it made us trust our captain, because if we looked a hot mess, it wasn't because, it fell back on the captain. So it's the captain's job to make sure that everyone is in line. Advice that I would give ladies interested in dancing collegiate. Love it. Have fun. Do it because you want to. Be creative. Don't go to YouTube to search for moves. Right now, I believe you guys are a very new team, so you have the opportunity to create and define your legacy and what you pass down from those who come up behind you. So make this time to be unique. Be creative. One thing that used to help us, because we didn't have YouTube or other social media to kind of feed off of other teams. Everything that we created on our own. The moves that we did on the field was things that we had to make up. So I think that definitely sets aside, apart from then and now. Just have fun. Be creative. Trust your teammates. Your teammates are the only ones who will know what you guys go through. They are the ones who you build bonds with. All of my teammates I still have special bonds with. About 4 of them are my best friends. They're my sisters. So enjoy yourselves. Have a good one.
Hey y'all, my name is Shania Nelson. I am a sophomore at Voorhees College in Denmark, South Carolina, and I am also the captain of the Royal Diamond dance team there as well. What made me try out for the team was I knew after high school that I wanted to dance. I wanted to keep pursuing it because that was my dream. Being a world renowned dancer is my dream. So I already knew that I wanted to continue pushing myself way past high school. But also the coach Roy, I was close with this twin because he had a dance studio that I've been dancing with for almost a year or so during my senior year of high school. So I already knew who they were. But Roy, he pushed it over the edge with, him wanting me to dance for him. I wasn't nervous because I know what I'm capable of, and I never ever limit myself to anybody's ability. You're on top of everything, making sure you're on top of being a student and being a dancer. Like you can't excel in one thing and not the other if you're gonna be both. So that's definitely the hardest thing. The hardest obstacle I'd faced being a captain of a collegiate team was really just getting all the girls and the 2 boys that I had to be a family, because there were personalities from all over the world, so it was hard getting everybody to gel together as one. My proudest moment I can definitely say is when since I made up almost all of the choreography for my team. Like I said, my proudest moment was making up this really, really, really hard dance that I taught them in almost 2 days to perform the following day. And less than what they gave me, and they made me super, super proud. I actually cried after the performance because I was like, I couldn't even believe, that these girls really just, they did what they had to do out there. They left their hearts out on the stage. I was completely proud of them. Some expectations that I and my coach had for the team was just to always make sure you're, on time. Punctuality means everything. Your competitive spirit, you're gonna have collegiate dance may not be the dance world out there after college and everything, but it prepares you so much because you're gonna have to deal with other people. You're gonna have to make sure you prioritize. You're gonna have to make sure you do all of these things to make sure you're successful. Because if not, somebody else could swoop right in. And going into any audition, you never look for the negative, or you never look for anybody that might be better than you, because honestly, you focusing on anything else is going to throw you off your game. So don't ever be nervous, do your best. Once I made the team, there were a lot of rules that we had to follow, and I think they were in place because we needed to stay focused. It was our first year. We needed to be focused. There were certain things that you could eat, certain things you could drink. We could not talk to any boys. We could not walk across campus grass. We worked out vigorously every day. It was just simple things like that it's easy to follow. Of course, we had some times that we didn't want to do that, but there were requirements. The hardest obstacle about being a collegiate dancer really is just keeping